When did you first hear the Tulo? Were you watching the game last night? I wondered.
I did watch the game last night.
At the ninth inning, were you there when they said they've taken him out of the lineup? What was you've already indicated you thought, well, he could have been injured, so you were happy, you were okay with the fact they took him out of the lineup. But what did you think about it? Did they get enough?
I did my homework on these three pitching prospects. This is not about Jose Reyes, although they had to take back some salary so they could dump the Tulo salary on Toronto. The kid Jeff Hoffman is an elite prospect, 22 years old. Yeah. The other two kids are both 20 and flamethrowers. So they did what I felt they should have done if they were going to deal Tulo or Cargo.
They listened to us.
Well, they need pitching. They need to restock that whole minor league system with pitching prospects. They need hard throwers. That's how everybody's going these days. Most teams, they don't bring people out of the pen who are throwing any less than 95 or 96 miles an hour. And a lot of starters now, look at the Mets, are throwing consistently 95, 96, 98 miles an hour. All of these kids they got from Toronto are that. I'm with you. I think you have to gather 6, 7, 8 pitchers, young pitchers, through all of these trades you've made and you're going to make, and hope that 2, 3, 4 of them stick. And then you've got some decent talent going forward.
You got a Boone Logan that was a waste of time, waste of money. You've got Betancourt.
Well, he also had a history of injury. It was a bad pickup.
And let's salute Betancourt for coming back from Tommy John. He can't pitch anymore. LaTroy Hawkins was finished. He shouldn't have been brought back this year. They're lucky that he could probably help Toronto in one-inning situations every once in a while. They have got a load. Axford is
he's blown up the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
That bullpen is so bad. We talk about the starting rotation. That bullpen is bad. This is a bad pitching staff, and there's no hope out there. We're all sitting here waiting for Godot. That's Jonathan Gray. John Gray. Jonathan Livingston Seagull. You're old enough to remember that reference. That's what we're waiting on, and great. They don't have much belief in him. They won't bring him up. They've got to get 7 or 8 young pitchers. And the problem is, the only other one I'll give you is, now they're the ones that are going to have to develop these guys.
Well,
they haven't proven they can do that.
No, this regime hasn't. And I know you're going to tell me Bridich was under O'Dowd for 10 years. But Bridich is doing things differently. I think this is a good indication. O'Dowd never would have moved Tulo. Never would have moved Tulo. He wouldn't have even brought that deal to Dick Monfort. Bridich brought it to Dick Monfort. And Monfort surprisingly said, okay, do it, it's time. So Bridich might be given a little more rope than O'Dowd was given. Bridich might have a little more cojones than O'Dowd had. So now they did something we didn't think they would do. They made a big deal at the trading deadline. They did something we didn't think they would do. They dealt the face of the franchise, Troy Tulowitzki. And now let's see if they can do something. And now let's see if they can do something they couldn't do before, and that's develop pitching. That's the key. That's the whole key to this thing. Gather all these young flamethrowers together, and let's see if you can do something with them now, because they couldn't do anything with them in the past.
So Bridich is, in my mind, O'Dowd 2.0. It's like you're
giving him a little credit now.
Well,
a little bit of credit.
Well, I'm saying it. When you get a Windows update all the time on your thing, and they go Windows 3.8. Well, okay, he's O'Dowd 2.0. Maybe he's 3.0. Maybe he's a better version of O'Dowd. Maybe he's O'Dowd, but a better version, a better clone than O'Dowd. And, again, I see Monfort up there crying because Tulo, you didn't keep him in the loop. You should be crying to the fans. You should have announced, hey, we've screwed this up. And, I'm crying, I'm sitting here crying, I'm emotional and everything. Well, stop being emotional, crying. Get off your butt and do something.
Well, you know what bothered me? When he said, I love all my players. That's not good business.
That's not.
You can't fall in love with your players. That's not the nature of sports. That's not the nature of this game. You fall in love with your players, you're never going to deal anybody.
Fans. Fall in love with your fans and do something for your fans.
How about
you want to cry about the fact you're so awful.
How about fall in love with the idea of winning and making the moves you need to do to win, and not fall in love with your players, because then you'll never move.
And Tulo was the face of the franchise. Arenado's taking that over this year. A guy said to me the other day, a fan, he said, the only reason I go to the ballpark this year is to watch Arenado. Arenado is the guy that they should, Bridich, Monfort, their marketing department, maybe they'll get his name right this year. He is the guy.
A portion of the big stuff presented by the Celtic Tavern, the official sponsor of the Colorado Rapids MLS All-Star Game Wednesday night. The Celtic will provide a bus to that game and every Colorado Rapids home game. You can tailgate 2 hours before kickoff with everybody on that bus. The Celtic is just 2 blocks west of Coors Field on Blake Street. Again, the Celtic Tavern. Stop by there. Check it out.